What is up, everybody? We are just about live on all platforms, I do believe. It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. And it's Wednesday, April 5th, 2023 A.D. Anno Domini. I call it Anno Domini. Anno Domini. Whatever. And, you know, there's a lot of crime and mess happening around the liberal areas. But fret not, because we have Gavin Newsom supporting a campaign for democracy.
Let's be direct. We can't solve a problem without first identifying it. And the problem in our country right now? Authoritarian leaders who are so hell-bent on gaining power and keeping it by whatever means necessary that they're directly attacking our freedoms in state after state. That's why I'm launching the Campaign for Democracy. We're going on the road to take the fight to states where freedom is most under attack, where Republican leaders ban books, criminalize doctors, fire teachers, intimidate librarians, kidnap migrants, target trans kids, stoke racism, condone anti-Semitism, force the victims of rape and incest to carry their attacker's baby.
These are all
They
good
ignore
things.
the will of the people. They make it harder to vote and easier to buy assault weapons.
Nice.
They fan the flames of culture wars to distract from the fact that blue states have lower murder rates, better healthcare outcomes, and higher GDPs. We're going to these states and investing in people and organizations where they're fighting back. We know we have a big battle coming, which is why we'll help lead the fight to make sure we elect leaders in 2024 who believe in democracy. Our country is facing an existential battle for who we are and who we're willing to become. It's not an exaggeration. That's the truth. What's happening in those red states? It's not who we are. It's un-American. It's undemocratic. And all it takes to fight back is a willingness to stand toe to toe and say enough. That's what the Campaign for Democracy is all about. We're doing this because, well, the future isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we can create. So join the movement. Join us at campaignfordemocracy.com.
I think I might. I think I just might. He's talking kind of like, does I pictured George Soros having a voice similar to that. He's trying almost to talk like Volodymyr Zelensky. Oh, Lord. Attacking communities of color, fetishizing the weapons of war, banning books. Those are some trashy books that we banned, I've heard. Restricting speech. Oh, please. Pots and kettles, buddy. Undermining the right to vote. As based Tucker Carlson said, California being a sanctuary state has turned Republican to Republicant and then demon rat. I call the Democrats demon rats, as some of you already know. Most of you, perhaps. Terrible. All over the country. There are no trans kids, says Luke Skate Speech, Snake News Tweed. I agree, man. There are no trans kids. What an awful person. Democracy is not morally straight, says Uncle Ted's Cabin. Well, that's Gavin Newsom, not to be confused with Gavin McInnes. Today we're going to be covering, guys, well, you already heard from JLP that Canada hate speech mess. I heard that based, and I may be using the term loosely, Matt Walsh was doing a little Q&A showboating with the young so-called trans women people. Terrible. Kind of tired of that mess, to be honest. It's gross. But he was doing it a la his not quite Christian boss and fellow talking head type of a guy, Ben Shapiro, owning the libs at the Q&A sessions. there's a crazy attack on Trump, and some of the people are saying he's getting what he deserved. Kim.com said he gets what he deserved because he's didn't pardon Julian Assange, like Trump is supposed to know much about Julian Assange. I mean, he was the president. Maybe he should have known it. But Wisconsin is getting a pro-abortion justice in the state Supreme Court. The guy who, anyway, I'll tell you more about it. The guy who was trying to win, the conservative justice, has never won an election. He was appointed, and then Trump endorsed him, but he failed. And then he wasn't looking for a endorsement from Trump the second time, and he failed again, even though Don Jr. supported him kind of last minute. All that mess, lots of mess going on. Pro-abortion in Wisconsin, of all places. Wisconsin. I told you about that Fargo, North Dakota pastor, so-called pastor, female to wannabe male, trans pastor, so-called trans. Luckily, that church was pretty empty, and not a lot of views on YouTube, on the YouTube video of that sermon that I showed you guys yesterday. And the comments were still open, by the way. I didn't point that out. The comments were still open on that trans pastor's video, likening the Nashville mass murderer of the Christian school, the female wannabe transgender, to Jesus. But anyway, the TikTok ban bill is evil, by the way. I hope to get to that, and of course your calls. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. Did you catch my debate last night on Modern-Day Debate YouTube channel? Guest moderated by a man named Ryan. A young man named Ryan. Nice work, Ryan. Although he did leave himself on mute by accident at the beginning of the recording over there on Modern Day Debate. And I debated this guy who's not quite as right-wing as Hake, who was labeled as left, by, what's his name again? Matthew with one T. Matthew with one T. Normally Matthew is with two T's, so he's not the gospel writer Matthew. But he may be a Christian, he may not be, I'm not sure. Veteran man, he interviewed me on the first episode of his live interview stream. What was that called? Caught in the Middle. At Caught in the Middle 0823 on YouTube. So he debated me about whether Trump's indictment, a so-called arrest and charges, his arraignment, facing charges in court, was legitimate and right. He said it's right, but he shouldn't have been the first one, and he's hoping that he's not the last one. I said it's wrong. It's obviously wrong because it's obviously politically motivated, and it's petty. And I think it was passed up by a whole bunch of other people who were more knowledgeable, but this shameless black guy, and I wasn't so explicit that it's because they used the shameless black guy, but that's what I was getting at. Hopefully you guys could read between the lines. They used the shameless black guy, who I hear is not the brains of the operation over there in the Manhattan DA's office. I heard it was like an unchristian woman, but not black, but not normal white, behind the brains behind the case. But who knows? And even her brains are not the best, perhaps. But they're going crazy. And the libs were like, of course, you do the crime, you do the time. What time? What crime? Nobody even knows or cares about that stuff. So anyway, you can go to thehakereport.com/appearances. It was a fun debate. Thank you, Modern Day Debate. They've had me on a number of times. Some people don't like it. I don't know much about what's going on, and I am quite readily admit that I don't know. And maybe I take this T-shirt too seriously. Knowledge is poison. Knowledge is poison. Why is knowledge poison, Hake? Because it puffs you up on a bunch of pride. False pride. Thinking that you know stuff. Thinking that the stuff that you're looking into is so important. And it's not important. Trump's crime of being accused is not important. The crime of being accused, says Lord Bibby. Yeah, it's not important. Guilty of being a meanie. Guilty of being white. Hat tip to Minor Threat, dumb liberals, punks, betas. Guilty of being a man. Guilty of loving the country. Guilty of telling the truth. Guilty of saying we worship God, not government. Those with little knowledge use this as a cope? Maybe, but those with knowledge, and often you'll find lack wisdom. They're just snotty, snobby people, and their lives are a mess. You'll notice. Most blacks are proud of not knowing anything. But they don't know that they don't know anything. They don't know that they don't know what's really in the hearts of the white people whom they judge falsely. But anyway, poison puffs you up. It makes you swell up and die. And knowledge does that too, so frequently. Anyway, that was Gavin Newsom supporting evil. Let me get to Hamza out of Utica, New York, on the line. Hamza, how you doing?
Doing good. How you doing, Hank?
Doing fine, thank you.
You know, to be honest with you, I'm lying. I'm not doing good.
Oh, well, yeah, I know that because you're an atheist. Atheists can't do good in the world.
No, we can't.
So you're doing evil? You're doing evil?
No, we just don't do anything.
Oh no! If you were truly not doing anything, you would be a Christian.
No, we don't do it. We don't do either or. We try not to do anything.
Nice.
Hey.
I wish the atheists did nothing.
Hey, what do you think about this Trump? What's your opinion? I missed it by.
Oh, it's unimportant. It's a big show. It's a big show.
You know, I went to bed crying last night. I can't believe they put this guy on charges, 34 counts, felony charges, man.
You really went to bed crying, or are you trolling me?
Yeah, no, I'm not trolling you, man. Because I swear to God, man, this entire thing that I've been watching.
But you're an atheist. How do you swear to God? You're not even supposed to. Really
yeah.
Swear
Oh,
to
dude,
God.
you broke me. You broke me. Everything has broken me. There is something strange going on. Because I feel there's evil going on, and if there's evil, there has to be good. And if there's good and evil, there has to be a God.
Have you been listening to Nick's stream, Nick the Anchor Baby?
No, just you.
Just me? Because
Yeah.
Did you hear me tell Nick the Anchor Baby's story of when he saw that it was like out of control evil attack on Trump? And he's like, there's evil, so there must be God. Because he used to be kind of an atheist.
No, I've come across the same conclusion.
Really?
Yeah, man. But whatchamacallit, I just want to say one more thing. The entire time I watched this whole travesty happen, for some reason, I really felt like it should have been George W. Bush instead.
Maybe.
You know, I feel like we got the wrong guy.
What about Obama?
I don't know. He sort of came later. But that George W. Bush, wow. Did he make some changes in the country?
What did Bush do wrong?
Everything. that whole 8 years was should have never happened. You know, and
Yeah, but
the first.
but you can do wrong the whole time and still not necessarily need to be indicted. What did he do that?
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
he was the original stolen election was Bush versus Gore.
Oh.
That's where all this came from.
I disavow just for the sake of who knows what. But a lot of people do feel that way, that Gore should have won, but there were too many hanging chads in Florida when Jeb Bush was governor. Jeb Bush.
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I need you to be serious about this, man.
All right.
Whatchamacall. Yeah, don't disavow. This is real life. This is real stuff happening. The Trump's election fraud or whatever he's talking about.
Which I disavow.
He's playing on the Bush-Gore election. He's messing with our heads because back when Bush stole his election, we let him go. We didn't think he would hurt the country so much. And it just happened. We didn't fight like how the Trump people fought, and we didn't think it was a big deal. And
you mean the Bush people fought
upside down? No, we never fought to stop Bush from taking the election.
You said the Trump people fought. You meant the Bush people fought.
No. When Bush stole the election,
right?
Liberals we didn't stop him. We thought he didn't know how to read properly. We thought he would last one term and he would go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but then he kept staying, and I really feel like all this murder and mayhem.
You think Gore would have been better?
Yeah, it would have been less murder and mayhem.
You think so? Maybe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. He has a higher IQ than George W. Bush.
IQ doesn't mean there's less murder, though. IQ of the president.
He would make a smarter decision. He would have made the smarter decision.
A lot of communists, I think a lot of communists may or may not have high IQ. They're not very Christian, and they bring about a lot of murder.
Listen, man, I know not to trust dumb people with important things, and that man caused a lot of problems. It should be him in jail, not Trump.
Huh. I don't know.
I
don't know what Bush. You still didn't really tell me what Bush did that was illegal, and I'm not saying he didn't do stuff that was illegal and evil.
Well, first off, the election was stolen. That whole WMD
But that has nothing
war,
to do with him. You don't throw him in jail over the election being disputed.
No, him and his brother.
And you're talking about the. Are you being a snake right now? You're trying to say the election was stolen, and YouTube might not realize that you're talking about the 2000 election as opposed to the 2020 election. Everybody knows that the 2020 election was totally on the up and up, but the 2000 election is the one that the liberals feel like they stole it from Al Gore when it should not have gone to George W. Bush. But we've been a very divided country, man. So I don't really believe that you're as sincere as you're pretending to be. How am I supposed to be serious with you when you're not being honest with me about present day reality? You're trying to go over there. You're trying to go over the past.
I'm just trying.
You're trying to troll my channel.
Anything.
Are you a Fed?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not a Fed. I'm not trying to disavow anything.
You're supposed to admit
you.
if you're a cop.
Why are you so touchy about this subject?
Because I'm trying to protect my channel. You're the one who said the election is stolen. That's not true. The election was not stolen in 2000. It was not stolen in 2020. It's dirty politics all the time. And you're being pathetic about it right now. And you're pretending to believe in God. What a mess. I don't believe you.
Oh, Hake. You got me, Hake.
Did you catch my debate on Modern Day Debate, Hamza?
No. I try to stay away from your debates. After listening to you, man, I want to kill myself.
Oh.
But whatchamacall, that's about it, man. You know, George W. Bush should be in jail.
Thanks, man. Take care.
I love you.
Thank you. What a mess. People are like, hang up. Hake is so weird, says Ninex Draconia. Maybe I shouldn't be chuckling like it's cute. William in California on the line. Let's get serious, shall we? William, thanks for calling and holding. What is up?
Hey, what's going on, James?
Hey,
we don't, I want to talk about three things and then move on and get off the phone real fast as I can. I'm going to touch on the fact that we don't have assault weapons available to the public. That's a big lie.
Yeah, I know. They're trying to... I mean, what is assault weapon? I mean, you can commit assault with or without any
There was
weapon. So what is an assault
There was a
weapon?
machine gun. There was a machine gun that the Germans used during D-Day.
And it was called an assault rifle.
It's an assault rifle.
Nice. And assault
And-
is a good thing when you're committing war and you're supposed to war.
We don't have
like
that
heck.
available to the public. It's just a big lie.
Unfortunately.
And grandstanding and walking across that bridge in Alabama, all of this fake stuff that they, people that identify with this stuff and the transgender thing, you're not in reality. You just call into these shows like this and you're just trolling because you still don't know what the hell you're talking about. This is not a democracy. This is a republic.
Yeah.
And you should show your Confederate flag.
I know. Yeah. I love the
See-
beautiful South. Shout out to the beautiful
Yeah,
South.
yeah. So,
So full automatic is a full
we don't
automatic
even
German
have that
rifle.
available to the public. It's not available.
I know. And why not? That's not do you agree with such a law?
Enough with a semi-automatic where you can control your fire.
Wait, do you agree with banning the full auto?
I mean, it is better to have semi-automatic.
It's better, but should it be illegal to have full auto? Because you can switch
It
from
is.
full auto to semi.
We don't have it. We don't have it.
No, but should it be illegal? I'm asking. Should it be?
I would say so. Probably so.
And why should it be
Get the
illegal?
weapon in the wrong hand, because if you get the weapon in the wrong hands, it could be a lot of irresponsible firing. A lot of innocent people could get hit.
But you mentioned semi-auto is better. Does that mean it's more effective at shooting accurately?
It's more effective. I would think it's more effective and it's probably safer. More than likely.
Safer as in like fewer stray bullets
Right.
or rounds
Right.
or bullets or
Right.
whatever you're supposed to call them.
Right. So they're semi-automatic, everybody, and they look mean, but they're not what the military used. It's not an M16.
Do you agree full auto is essentially useless, as the real Mr. Mad says? It's the real Mr.
It's
Mad.
just shouldn't. I mean, they just don't have that where you can go buy that.
I know
it's
they
just
don't
not
have
like
it, but do you agree that it's basically useless, essentially?
No.
Okay, so it
Because
is useful.
You use them.
But what about
the military uses them? I mean, the military
Right.
uses that.
Yeah.
They need that. That's a different situation.
And they have a switch, right? They can switch
This is-
between.
Yeah, they can switch from fully to automatic.
But what
So-
about but the semi-autos get stuck in the wrong hands too, and they do plenty of damage just that way.
Plenty.
So why should
you
the-
don't
so-
need them to be? So you don't need them to be fully automatic. They're not going to do it.
But I say that
It's quite illegal.
if I said let's legalize full auto, would there really be that much more damage, and also expand the right to carry, including concealed carry for
It
normal people?
Probably be a mess, more than likely.
You think it would get worse? I think it would get better
Right.
if we expanded and opened up the laws, got rid of these infringements on our rights.
That could be, James.
Then I think
But a lot
the
of people
society would
don't
get more polite.
understand that we don't have assault weapons, and that's the only thing I
Right.
was just trying to point out.
Yeah, I got you
And,
on that.
Right, and that the grandstanding with it. First of all, the school shooting. Transgenders shouldn't even be around kids. First of all, they shouldn't. They don't care about them. How could you care about kids and you can't conceive one?
Yeah, it's the.
You,
and it's
you,
not even
you
about
represent
whether they can.
everything that's evil in the world. You don't care about children and families. You know,
Yeah,
that's
they have
just
this-
like people that call in and don't even know why they hate Trump. And they don't even know why. You know, this thing with this girl, this was before he was in office. It's super old news. And it's not even impressive to look at. It's like you had somebody calling in yesterday. Well, what do you think about the charges? There's
know.
nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Nothing. This is like Bill Barr said. This case is made up of paper clips.
Huh? Bill Barr said that.
Yeah, it's pretty weak.
He's the
Nothing's
Trump
gonna
AG.
happen. Right, and it's made him more popular. I told you that 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that's true. I heard.
So
He's
all
raised
of this
more
is
money
designed
and
to keep him from running. That's all this is. You're just trying to keep him from running because you know he's going to win.
Or he poses the biggest threat, I would say.
There's no threat. He's just gonna win.
You really think so, huh?
Yeah. You know, I
Interesting.
mean, the people that are trolling your show, they don't understand that the Senate is the courts and the House of Representatives, they're the police. So we're not going to do what they did and try to impeach a president. We don't have to do that because everything Joe is doing is illegal anyway. I mean, why would you do it anyway? They got the Senate.
Yeah.
They're not going to go through with the impeachment of their own guy. So, you know, most of your callers that are trolling, they don't understand that. And all their wokeness is not permanent. It's all executive order. It's going to get thrown in the garbage.
Oh, that would be nice. But the public has become so corrupt that they just...
Well, they don't understand that this is not a
so they'll
democracy.
vote in this
First
stuff.
of all, they want it to be a democracy so they could be more like socialism, and it's just not going to happen. And the election was not stolen with Bush. It was the electoral that won the election. I keep telling you, you guys don't understand this.
Yeah. It was pretty close, though, in Florida. It came
It
down
was
to
close,
Florida, right?
and it came down to the electoral. I mean, ask Asmodor. He'll
Electoral.
tell you the details
Electoral
on that one.
college?
I mean, that's kind of stupid to even bring that up. You know, you don't even know what you're talking about. You probably were Pampers during that election.
I know. He's like my age. He doesn't know.
Oh, my
care
God.
about
He's
that.
probably younger than
That
you.
was my first.
You know.
That was my first time voting. Was for Bush in the year 2000. I was like 19.
Oh, was it?
I was like 19.
That was a close election.
Yeah.
My first was Reagan, and I think he won 49 states.
I think I was a baby after.
Yeah,
I was
come out
born
of high
after
school.
he was already in office for like 6 months.
Yeah. Did you guys say anything about this domestic violence thing out here in Florida? I'm in California, but out there
No,
in Florida,
what's
baby got killed or something by an alligator,
Oh
and
yeah.
the mother did.
Was it a mother or a father?
It was a family.
So I heard it. No, the father killed the mother and then also killed the baby.
I think the animal got a hold of the baby. Yeah,
And did he like put the baby in that position for the animal
they
to
found
go?
the baby in the mouth.
Yeah, dead, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I saw a headline. That's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Was it black or you're bringing it up? So
Black.
it must be black.
but
Yeah.
well, they're in the news all the time, every day.
Right. And then Phony Tony from California.
Yeah,
Why
what's
do-
he going to say to
why
this
do white
phony
folks kill
truck
their own
law? Wait a
family?
minute, they got this phony truck law for these $390,000 trucks with lithium batteries under them. What's Tony got to say about that?
Oh, because he's a trucker, supposedly. He has a trucking business.
Man, they try to keep the trucks out of California. The regulations are so bad.
Yeah.
And that's all Trump did. Trump eliminated all those regulations, and the economy was good, and you guys had jobs, and it was a good place. And the gas was $2.50 a gallon.
What do you...
Yeah, I mean,
Out of
you know,
curiosity,
you
what-
can't say this is better, James. This
No,
is
I agree.
not better.
Out of curiosity, what do you say to those people who say Trump deregulated the train stuff, and that's why we're having all these train derailments now? Is there any truth to that?
I don't think so. I mean, it's just as many train derailments as any other time. I mean,
Yeah, I think there's a
some
lot
are
of
bad, some are worse than the others, but it's not a recurring thing. I don't think it is. I mean, they've had accidents.
right. I think there's
And
more.
I mean, the system is kind of old, and they could probably use a little bit of work on the infrastructure. But trains are a very important resource for this country.
Both our government and the corporations, the
They
companies,
connect all the coasts together.
the culture has become very corrupt and incompetent. Those two things go hand in hand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of that is like people think that unions are better, and they're not.
Right. Yeah. They really aren't.
You must haven't worked.
Yeah.
If you don't know that.
Yeah, unions do oftentimes lower quality work. They're not focused
Well, I
on the
worked in
quality.
the production industry, and I can tell you the difference. It was pretty night and day to
Terrible.
work with unions and it versus private.
And explain a little bit of details on the different
Well,
characteristics.
the union will hold on to a lot of workers that have bad behavior,
Yeah.
and
Like teachers.
eventually it will corrode the whole system.
Like
Most
10.
people would get promoted to, just like one of your callers said something about a yes man. You don't even be close to a yes man. You probably get to talk to a
Oh yeah, they
salary
accuse
man.
me of being a yes man for JLP.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, man. But you don't get close to a yes man.
What do you mean by that?
If anything, you might talk to a salary person, but that's when you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And pretty much people are going to tell you that they're independent to keep themselves from associating from the Democrat Party and all of their mess.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah,
I'm
They always
independent.
do that. That's the safe answer. I don't support either one. You know,
I know.
you don't even know what you support. You don't even know why you don't like Republicans or don't understand them
Right.
either.
Yep.
So that's without slapping your mouth.
Well, thank you,
The
William.
thing- I mean, yeah, anytime, man.
Great input, man.
So,
Take
guys,
care.
have a good week.
All right, you as well. Bye. Oops. I hung up on him because I didn't want to hear the click. But William doesn't normally do that click thing. Before I get back to calls and stories, guys, let me read a few super chats that have come in from Rumble and elsewhere. Evil is still real. Says, I am old enough to remember when William called in with correct views on guns. Oh, well. I got to leave the country for a bit, Hake. Talk to you when I get back. Stay white and stay true, my brother. Thank you. Evil is still real. He being enlightened till I rise on Rumble says, full auto versus semi-auto is a mute point. Maybe he means moot point. They both have their place in warfare. Semi-auto is the most dangerous in trained hands, as accuracy is usually always better. I like the combination of usually always better than volume. Being enlightened till I rise with yet another Rumble rant super chat. Rumble.com/The Hake Report in case I ever get suspended on YouTube or banned or whatever. God forbid. Heaven forbid. A machine gun is just as dangerous to a group as a sniper/designated marksman is to the machine gunner. Yeah. It's kind of like apples and oranges. They're both good for you, and neither of them should be illegal, right? But apples are better than oranges. It's just true. It's true. Apples are better than oranges. So this whole thing, you can't compare apples and oranges. I can and I will. It's fake news. It's a fake saying. Yordanos Araya over on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Hank, maybe I should call her Delilah. What is your favorite animal? What's your favorite pet? Well, I don't play favorites. I love them all the same. But I like snakes are cool. Snakes are cool. A buddy of mine was a herpetologist, a herper. And that's the study of reptiles and amphibians. It has nothing to do with any STDs. Sorry, kids. Well, not sorry, but don't say that. And my favorite pet, I had Peep and Cheep, a couple of zebra finches. They were not my favorite, but they lived a while. I had Peter. Maybe I shouldn't be naming my animals. I'm doxing myself. Peter, my cat. Maybe I should call Peter my favorite, but he wasn't. But he was my cat. There was Whiskers, who was the cat who was born before me. Jake, the black lab. He was also older than me. He bit my finger one time. I put my finger in his face. I guess I deserved it. But Peter, I don't know if it's a calico cat, but it was a brownish, tannish, and white cat. Meow. That was how he meowed. And I would pet him and he'd purr and rub against my leg like Joe Biden would say. And he was shot in the face with like rivets or pellets in the face, and he slowed down, and eventually my parents had to put him down. And the cops came at one point, and we think it was the neighbor, Mr. Kane. He was a grumpy guy. He was like a war veteran or something. Hey! Anytime we kicked the soccer ball over the fence, we'd have to jump the fence, and he would yell at us, getting the soccer ball. Hey, scary. But my dad thinks that he shot the cat in the face because the cat came into his yard or something. I'm laughing, but it was sad. I kind of wanted to cry, but I didn't cry because I never cried in my life, even when I was a baby. But no, I don't think that even that guy was my favorite. I had turtles, and I had to give them back because I didn't like having to clean out the water tank all the time, you know? I can't say what my favorite pet was. I respected Jake. He would run away. It was funny. He would run to grandma's house. Thank you, Jordanos Destas. Hopefully that's a satisfactory answer. I did give it quite some time. Ego is real. Oh, no, I got that one already. Let me double check over on Ko-Fi and buymeacoffee.com. We're fine over there. And on Odyssey, apple's 100% better than oranges, says Uncle Ted's Cabin. And Taking Care of Business said something good. Hey, caller, Al Gore has been on a 40-year tour about climate change, stealing money from people with lies and inconvenient truth. You can own a machine gun, says Taking Care of Business. You just need the proper licenses. Full auto isn't readily available to the general public purchasing a firearm, but with the proper licenses, such as that guy Hickok 45, he was one of my first subscriptions when I signed up for YouTube years ago. He has a license to get a full automatic weapon. Shout out to Hickok 45. Is he still kicking? Hickok 45 for Trump. Hickok 45 2024. How about that? He seems like an American man, maybe even a Christian. No, I don't know if he would be interested. People are arguing with my T-shirt that says, what does it say? Knowledge is poison. Haig? Amber asks, Haig? Question mark. Your shirt? Question mark. Quote, my people die because of lack of knowledge, unquote. You know God, right? He said it. It's in the Bible. It's a fact. She didn't mention that last part, but I said that. And that's a reference to a punk rock song, The Vandals. It's in the Bible. It's a fact. I think the Vandals said it. But I like to say it. I like to say it too. Less ironically or ironically, less unironically. The Bible also says, Paul, evil is still real. Eat that. Evil is still real. Paul in the Bible says knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. Knowledge without love, you don't get wisdom. You don't know what you think you know. So don't be hung up on the words. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Yes, I do, Tennis Shoe. Thank you for the question, Amber. Nice. Yeah, knowledge puffs up like poison, but love or alcohol or sugar causes inflammation. Paul contradicting God again, says Inward Thoughts. I knew my suspicions. Anyway. I'm tired of hearing my voice. Let me get to Alexis in Chicago, Illinois, Chi-Town. How are you doing, Alexis? Thanks for calling. How are you? What's up? I asked.
Hey, I'm doing well, James. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
So I wanted to share what happened yesterday. I went to go vote for mayor.
Ooh.
And a bunch of Democrats volunteered there. So I walk in, and one of the volunteers used the word irregardless.
Nice.
And I took a chance to go ahead and correct them, and I had the whole auditorium break out in laughter.
They laughed? Nice.
They laughed really, really hard. So I wanted to thank you for that.
Right on. I referenced
And
you
then
yesterday during my debate.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
So, what is it?
You heard that I referenced you on Modern Day Debate last night?
I didn't.
Okay. Well, check it out. Let me know what you think.
I will. You said
Nice.
Modern Day Debate?
Yeah, Modern Day Debate. I appear on his channel, James Kuntz. He had a guest host moderating Ryan, and I debated against Matthew with one T from Caught in the Middle about whether Trump's arrest was just or not, was right or not.
Oh, I did catch his first show. You were his first guest, right?
Well, this was
Matthew
just
with
last.
the T.
Oh yeah, I was his first guest. That's correct. Yep.
So I caught that one. I have watched that before.
Nice. Well, you don't have to
But I
catch it,
will
but
catch
if you are so inclined, check it out. Let me know what you think. It was a pretty long one. We went over time, probably 2 hours or more.
What was it called again?
Modern Day Debate is the YouTube channel. Modern-Day Debate. Hyphen is a little dash.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so here, listen to this. So I get back home, and I caught the news, of course. I'm following everything that's happening with Trump.
Okay.
And Alvin Affirmative Action Bragg.
Whoa.
It got me so angry, Hake. I can't even explain.
I know.
I was screaming, cussing. I was just angry.
Terrible.
So later on,
And you
in
had
the
no
day,
business being upset about it, didn't you? Do you listen to JLP?
I do, but here, let me get to that.
Okay, go ahead.
So the emotion came up, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to do this to myself.
Right on.
I calmed down, and I grabbed the Bible, and I turned to, accidentally, as I always do, Ephesians 4:26, and it says, "Be angry, yet do not sin. Do not let the sun set upon your anger."
Nice.
And that hit me really, really deep,
Yeah.
right? Because sometimes it's hard to refrain from anger, but we can refrain from the emotion. You get what I'm saying?
Not quite. Elaborate.
Okay, so what I did was I definitely accepted the fact that I was angry about this.
Yeah.
But then I questioned why I am staying angry about it.
Yeah.
And do not let the sun set upon your anger. It's like, don't go to sleep angry.
Uh-huh.
So I did my silent prayer. Well, before I did my silent prayer, I was reading the Bible, and then I did my silent prayer. And I promise you, I felt like somebody from heaven came down and hugged me and rocked me to sleep. It was just so peaceful. It was so beautiful. And I think that I got it. You know what I mean? It's absolutely going to happen again, but we have to refrain from letting that anger, take over us and control us. It's going to happen. And I think that's why people do have the problems that they do. Shout out to Hamza, man, don't kill yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't
do
kill
it.
He said that he wants to kill himself hearing me on the debates or something like that. That's not good.
No,
Don't do that, kids. Don't
absolutely
listen.
not.
Don't listen to that man, kids. He's not a man.
Anger brings out the worst in people. And,
Yeah.
people just have to realize these things and go to the Bible. It's there for us. God is in us, above us, and all around us. And we
Yes.
just have to pay attention.
It rings true when you read it. When you read different things in it in the Bible, it rings true. You're like,
Absolutely.
oh. But even though it rings true, we still don't. I don't know about you. Apparently not you either. But you still don't live up to it or whatever. I think that's why don't neglect. Pray without ceasing. Get rid of all anger.
That's right.
Be self-controlled and alert. Take every thought captive. All those things. Do not worry. Jesus is all over this thinking stuff and anger and all that and forgiveness. Jesus is, and the people ignore it. The people do the opposite. They continue to sin. He says, "Go and sin no more," and they continue. What a mess.
It surely is.
So it's not just the Bible, but it is the Bible's. It's kind of, I don't know if enlightening is the right word, but it's oh yeah, it's like a nice reminder. It's like listening to church with Jesse Lee Peterson or going to the men's forums or women's forums. I imagine the women's forums. I've never been, right? Because I'm a man. I'm a man. But it's a reminder. But you also have to go and do it. You have to live it too, not just hear the truth and then walk away and forget about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
something
just-
that's easy for us to forget, right?
What's
So
that?
It's something that's really easy for us to forget sometimes, but
Yeah, because
it shouldn't be. 'Cause-
I think because we're not really committed. We're not really.
and it's easier to carry that like anger than to go actually and do something about it. And people like to pick the thing that's easier over something that they have to put forth effort towards. So I'm
you're
just
breaking
glad
up a
that I'm
little bit
getting
there,
it.
but I there is like a. It does. I think your mind tricks you into thinking, oh, this seems hard. I don't feel like doing this, and then that's not you thinking, but it's tricking you into chasing after fun and
Yeah.
entertainment and worrying your pretty little head when you don't have to.
I agree.
Anyway, Alexis,
that's
you're
it.
breaking up a
That's
little
all.
bit there, but I appreciate your call. Go. Last word.
No, it's just really bad weather in Chicago. We might be getting a tornado.
Oh yeah, I heard that there were hailstones the size of baseballs in the western.
They
parts of-
lied.
Oh really?
There was, but they weren't that big. They were very small.
Oh okay. Well, maybe it's God's judgment for you guys and gals. Well, guys includes gals. It's gendered language. Is Hake going to get banned for saying, hey, guys? My act of defiance. Based Hake saying, hey, guys. Public employees are told not to say, hey, guys.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's gendered language. Can you stop with the gendered language? Because guys implies males. But it's God's judgment. The storm coming through because you guys elected that black Democrat mayor to replace the black Democrat mayor. Terrible.
Let it be. Let
Yeah.
it be.
I'm kidding about God's judgment. I say that playfully, but yeah, be careful, be safe, be wise with the weather and wise with the blacks, and watch out for snakes too, and your
That's
thoughts
right.
and your
Thanks.
lying thoughts, and your lying pursuit of knowledge, Alexis. Yeah, I had a caller call in talking about aliens and the FBI. This is what I said on Modern Day Debate, and how evil people are being controlled by other evil. And I didn't mention the aliens the second time. And it has nothing to do with her life. Same thing with this Trump indictment. It gets people up in arms against one another, when in reality, neither of us have any influence over what happens there, nor should we care.
Right. That really struck a chord with me earlier when I was listening to JLP. It's so true. When you look at Trump, he seems so unbothered,
Yeah.
because he knows deep down in his heart of hearts, like, I got this.
You are from
And-
Chicago. I hear it. Chicago. My heart. Something like that. Nice.
Can't help it. But I'm
I like
moving soon, so everything is really, God really helped set everything up in my way, and I'm going full force, full-fledged. And
Okay.
I'm just very happy about that. But can't wait to check out the show.
Nice.
Can't wait to hear it.
I wish you well, Alexis. Thank you.
You too. All right. Bye.
All right, bye. Alexis from Chi-Town. It's not Chi-Town, even though it's Chicago. Chirac, they call it. You heard about that transgender mess. You heard if you were listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, I'm on his network. At the end of the show, he had me comment on this bill or this proposed bill thing that End Wokeness shared on Twitter, among other people probably. Holy moly. He didn't say moly. New bill would criminalize, he or she, End Wokeness on Twitter, would criminalize protests and offensive remarks in parts of Canada. Crazy. And it's this radical transgender bill. I think I'll spare you. Do you want to see it? Should we play it? This is from the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Nick, do you want to play this Canada hate speech clip? I didn't grab this. I'm stealing it from that boy out there, Sean, who grabbed this, I assume. Listen to this. Somebody said if they turned this into an animated South Park episode, it would sound perfect. It's crazy. I listened to it, and it's so intellectual, I can't even comprehend what they're saying. It's like so shallow and intellectual and technical. It's not that it's overly technical for me, but the sight of it is so crazy. I'll try to describe it as we watch, or after we watch. They have this crazy flag that has the rainbow thing, and then also like the transgender thing or something. Triangles and stuff. Triangles are like, I don't know, it's dirty. Listen to this.
The topic that brings us here is deadly serious. The rise of hate and violence facing the 2S LGBTQI+ communities, including the drag artists happening across Ontario and right in the nation, has been alarming. Also, they are fearful of what happens next if we don't have protection from the government and law enforcement to take care of them. Firstly, it enables the Attorney General to create a 2S LGBTQI+ community safety zone to prohibit within 100 meters of the property any homophobic, transphobic act of intimidation, offensive threats, offensive remarks, protest, disturbance, and distribution of hate propaganda within the meaning of the criminal code.
What a mess. Terrible. I didn't even comprehend. I heard something about hate propaganda. She's pushing, I think it's a she, pushing hate propaganda. And look at these, it's so deadly serious. They put clowns, well, no, they're not clowns. They're drag artists. It's not drag queens, it's drag artists. Sorry, kids. I should have censored all that whole thing. I should have censored faces all over that. But I pulled it from the Irishman whose stomach is stronger than Hake's, so he didn't cover their faces. What happened to the censors, says Chris. I stole it from the Jesse Lee Peterson show. That's what happened. I didn't put the censorship on it. What a mess. Speaking of that transgender mess, Matt Walsh blog tweeted out, based Matt Walsh said a trans EMT tried to use his medical, he said but he's trying to be a she, medical training to try to prove that sex is not binary. And he ran into trouble when Matt Walsh asked him how he'd respond to a patient with a male private part who claims he's having a miscarriage. And he also asked a quote-unquote trans woman to explain how he knows he's a woman. The answer was about as coherent as you'd expect. He posted some like 5 and 7 minute videos. I've had a few conservatives already message me to try to tell me this is Matt Walsh talking. He works with Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's outlet, but he's Catholic or something. This Matt Walsh guy. I ruined this exchange, according to some conservatives, by being cruel, quote unquote, and telling the trans person, so-called trans person, that he looks like a man. But there is no cruelty in it. He does look like a man. He's lying to himself, and he's the one who put his identity on the table for discussion. I'm not going to lie to these people. I will tell them the frank truth, and I'll tell it to their face. There is no other way. And I've thought about that. I don't know. There's a right and wrong way to go about things. And I don't know the spirit in which he said, you look like a man. But I think that there are some overly tender, Jonas says, it's called a male private part, Hake. And it's not even a cuss word that he said. It said like it's like the right word, but I don't want to say that. There are children listening and ladies, and I don't like that word. I don't like saying anyway. You know, I sometimes think about Ben Shapiro, who told Katie Tur? Is Katie Tur the daughter? Steve Tur? T-U-R? Is Steve Tur the one who turned into something else Tur? And then his daughter's like a CNN or MSNBC or something reporter who, mildly attractive gal, who went after Trump and Trump went after her. But Steve Tur was a helicopter pilot who followed the O.J. Simpson speed thing, and he got famous for that, but he turned into a transgender just like Bruce Jenner, he says, "Call me Kate." And these are like older guys who are just like full-blown masculine voice, and late in life they turn transgender. It's awful. And Tur was being interviewed by a person, I forget which person, and he was in a panel seated next to on a stool Ben Shapiro, who's just Jewish, youngish. He's like younger than me a little bit. Conservative guy, supposedly conservative. Kind of a Trump hater at times. Intellectual, not a Christian. Ben Shapiro said, "Something, something, sir." And Katie Tur, violent transgender, assaulted and battered, touched him when he didn't want to be touched, Ben Shapiro by squeezing his neck from the back. "You want to step outside and settle this outside?" Something like that. Terrible. Tur, T-U-R, Katie Tur. Let me see, Katie Tur. So she's the gal, and she's mildly attractive. Poor gal. She has 2 kids. And her father is, Zoe Tur. Real name's Steve. I mean, maybe he changed his name. Hannah Zoe Tur, he calls himself. Oh, sorry, kids. Not good. Formerly Robert, Bob Tur, not Steve Tur. I'm thinking Steve Kerr. Sorry, Steve Kerr. I don't know celebrities and sports and all that mess. Bob Tur, Albert Tur. See, they give his dead name probably because he's somewhat conservative and old and had already made a name for himself. But these other names who didn't have a name for themselves, you can't find their dead name on Wikipedia, such as William. Not to be confused with our William. William. What's the name? Talking about the transgender health.
Swimmer?
Health. Oh yeah, that's swimmer too, William Thomas, instead of Leah. I say their names because I can't bring myself to be using their names, even though it's legal names. Ben Shapiro will use their legal names. Say Caitlyn Jenner. No, it's Bruce. I don't care. It's Kanye, not Ye. Kanye West, not Ye. Use that slave name, but that's not even a slave name very much. I'm thinking about the health secretary, HHS, trans. Richard, I meant. Richard, not William. I think it's Richard, of all names. Shout out to Richard. I like Richards. What a mess. Terrible stuff. And so I was thinking about Ben Shapiro saying that to Zoe, Bob Tur, and Bob assaulted him for it. And Ben Shapiro may have been a little excessively defiant, his spirit. So was Matt Walsh being excessively defiant, or was he saying it, you look like a man out of love? I don't know. But irregardless, which is not a word, I think that we shouldn't go along with this stuff, So guys, we're at the top of the hour. It is 10 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It's time for some music. And I really like this track. It's maybe my favorite track from Steve Taylor, his 1993, I guess, album called Squint. Yesterday, it sounded like Prince. You guys didn't like it, some of you. I liked it. Some of us liked it. Sock Heaven. But this one is called The Finish Line. The Finish Line. Not to be confused with the Finns, who are a mess. This is the finish line, as in you run the race and cross the finish line. I hope you like it. I know some of you will. I know I do. And you can cover your ears, though. You can press mute. You can, or you can grin and bear it, you musical Philistines. And I'll be right back for hour 2. Hang tight, The Finish Line by Steve Taylor.
on the altar there, he whispered up the prayer he'd kept hid inside. The vision came, he saw the odds, 100 little gods on a gilded wheel. These will vie to take your place, but Father, by your grace, I will never kneel. And I saw you, upright and proud, and I saw you wave to the crowd, and I saw you laughing out loud at the Philistines, and I saw you brush away rocks, and I saw you pull up your socks, and I saw you out of the blocks for the finish line. Darkness falls, the devil stirs, and as your vision blurs, you start stumbling. The heart is weak, the will is gone, and every strong conviction comes tumbling down. Malice reigns, the acid guile is sucking at your shoes while the mud is fresh. It floods the trail and bleeds you dry as every little god buys its pound of flesh. And I saw you licking your wounds, and I saw you weave your cocoons, and I saw you changing your tunes for the party line. And I saw you welch on old decks. I saw you and your comrades bump cigarettes, and you hemmed and you hard and you hedged all your bets, waiting for a sign. Oh, let's wash our hands as we throw little bits. Let's all wash our hands as we curse hypocrites. We're locked in the washroom, turning old tricks. Death and joyless and full of it. Oh!
So good. So good, right? Hake listens to this in his head running cross country in high school. Today's music sucks. Just as bad as yesterday's. I saw you pull up your socks out of the blocks for the finish line.
The vision came, you saw the odds, 100 little gods on a gilded wheel.
Have no other gods.
These have tried to take your place, but Father, by your grace, I will never kneel. I will never kneel. Off in the distance, bloody but wise, as you squint with a lie of the truth in your eyes. And I saw you, both hands were raised, and I saw you, lips move in praise, and I saw you, steady your gaze for the finish line.
So good.
Every idol like dust, a word scattered them all, and I rose to my feet when you scaled the last wall, and I gasped when I saw you fall in his arms at the finish line.
And this is where I ran. The reservoir.
Oh, at the finish line.
So good. As Mary Rice Hopkins sang, "To win is to do my best, and I'm running for the prize. To win is to do my best with Jesus by my side." It's a little off key, but worst voice ever, says Doom Jesus. Which one, mine or Steve Taylor's? I like his lyrics, and I like the notion of, as the Bible says, And I've heard even JLP reference it. He who endures to the end shall be saved. Isn't that nice? It's a fact. Look it up. And yes, that was a super chat from DJ On Paul saying today's music sucks. Pull up your socks. Just as bad as yesterday's sock heaven. For those misfits lost in the dryer, take heart. Maybe God's got a place up in sock heaven. But you don't have to wait for sock heaven. You can have heaven on earth now. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Jesus said it. It's a fact. Being enlightened till I rise with the super chat says, Orange Gang for life, Hake. Also, how do you spell mute point? So I can be edumacated. M-O-O-T. It's moot point, not mute point. Thank you, being enlightened till I rise. Appreciate the Rumble rant. Evil is still real says, just one wrinkle left. Finally qualified to push Flat Earth and Pauline Christianity in the YouTube chat. Oh, he's ironing his brain to turn it smooth so to get all the wrinkles out of his brain so he's dumb. Pretty funny. Evil is still real with more super chats who's saying to all the ribs watching the show, that's the ladies are at home making sandwiches. Oh, so I may have used the term ladies loosely. They're ribs. And rocking the vacuum cleaner, unless useless ribs are watching and calling into political shows meant for male discussion. This as I heard in African American history, I believe based fascist Marxist Abraham Lincoln said, this is a dispute between white gentlemen and does not concern you, black man. Because some blacks wanted to fight for their rights or something like that. It doesn't concern you, ladies, ribs. Thank you, evil is still real. He also quotes Hake as saying, I like Richards. I was talking about my grandpa was named Richard. And, I prefer Richard to Rachel Levine, right? Richard Levine makes more sense, not Rachel Levine. That's what I meant. I didn't mean anything else. Hake, one day after appearing on the modern gay debate. No, it's modern day debate. Evil is still real. You guys with your minds, terrible. But thank you, guys. Hey, Chris over on YouTube asks, Hake, how do you see those? How do I see how those mountains are about a mile away? There were hills, foothills, mountains, a mile away in that footage of the beautiful reservoir over where I used to run in the San Gabriel Valley. And you can already see that they're beginning to look hazy. I think it's because of marine layer haze here in California. It's not necessarily smog. It's haze. And people ask, what is haze? It's just something made up because you don't want to call it smog. Well, haze is also marine layer haze. I think it's moisture in the air. It's akin to fog, sort of, right? Even when it's on a warm day. Basically moisture in the air, I believe. Marine layer. It's like fine mist, but not quite mist. It's just haze. I think. It's that atmospheric effect. And it's actually about 5 miles away, I would say, not 1 mile, the mountains. Because we would run it would be a 10-mile round trip to run up to the gate going up towards the mountains and back. 12 miles, actually, so about 6 miles away. So, anyway, thank you for the question. All art is gay. I liked yesterday's song. Hake, says Mojo. Right on, man. Okay. Already tired of hearing my voice. Not good for a host, right? No, it's all right. Maze, my favorite caller from the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio, I do believe. Maze, how you doing?
Hello, James.
Hey.
I listen for understanding, and some people just be running off at the crap mouth. But I have 2 questions for you.
Thank you. Go for it.
And when Trump was indicted, Who indicted Trump?
How
The
is it?
DA or the jury?
Quick questions, by the way, and I'll give you a little bit more time since I'm wasting your time with this question. Why is it pronounced indicted when it's spelled indicted?
Whatever you want to call it.
Oh no, your phone's messing up, and I don't know if it's yours or on your end or mine.
Just ain't it. Don't use it.
Oh man. Go ahead, Maze. Terrible. This might not be on Maze's end because it was started to happen with Alexis. These ribs shouldn't be calling into Hake's show. Maybe God is inside of. Go ahead. Yeah, no, it's not good. Maybe God's inside of the machines telling these ribs to stop calling, and so he's messing up the technical issue. Maze, you're coming through awfully. It's not coming through well at all. And it's not me. It's not my hands. We got to reset or something. Maze, call me back. Call me back.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you now.
Okay, as I was saying,
What did you
who
do?
indicted Trump?
What did you
DA or the
do?
grand jury?
Was this her? Or did she just, through her act of will, she prayed to God from within and she
I'm
fixed
asking
it?
you a question. You over here playing?
Yeah,
I'm
go
serious.
ahead.
I don't have time for junk like other people do.
Maze,
Who
cracking the
indicted
whip.
Trump? I'm
You
waiting
don't
for
want
an
to answer my question about indicted? Okay, I don't want to waste time because I don't want your phone to mess up again.
I know
That
my phone will not be messed up.
a fat black guy who has 34 felony counts of burgers every month, probably.
Well, okay, you want to be funny. And then I have
Cheeseburgers.
another one for you. What does woke mean?
Woke?
people like
I
you,
don't know.
they
It's
They heard,
dumb.
no, let me tell
By
you where
woke,
it came from.
okay,
They
let me.
got it from the Democrat man, Carville. So then they started using it, but what does it mean to you?
It means basically SJW, social justice warrior, phony stuff like fake idea of racism, fake idea of homophobia, transphobia, transmisogyny, stuff like that.
Oh, really?
To SLGBTQI plus. And she had to take a breath. To
have something to leave with you for some
SLGBTIQ plus.
I have something to leave with you for some people that's bright. Before you speak
Bright
today,
means dumb for
Can I say
Maze.
it?
Bright
before you
means
speak
dumb.
today, keep your mind that great people talk about things. Good people talk about things, and weak people talk about other people. So maybe some people need to teach their sons and some of their daughters the difference between talking about people and weak people and not talking about nothing. You're just weak with your conversation. It's always about black people, but I asked you a question and you couldn't even answer it.
What? The
asked you,
black guy
who-
indicted her.
I want you to tell
Indicted
me
Trump.
who indicted Trump.
Alvin Bragg.
Who?
Oh, the grand jury, the lame
Thank you.
grand jury.
Well, that's all I needed to know. So why are people taking it out on the man that
Because
didn't indict him?
the mail
Hold on.
presented it to the dumb liberal New York liberal fake grand jury, and not so grand jury.
So they got to
grand-
threaten people, and they're
grand-
supposed to be Christians
grand
and all of this stuff. I
stupidity.
just don't understand it.
But
you
it's
can't bring understanding to something.
irregardless, which is not a word.
Irregardless, why are they upset with him?
Somebody said that it actually is a
Them
word.
old 12 people could have let him off and did nothing.
Huh?
But they didn't. They thought it was a crime. And what I want to see happen, so everybody say who hates who, you don't hate. You want to have answers and the truth about different things. So if somebody can accuse you of something,
Yeah.
you want to tell the people and prove that they're wrong. Don't sit up here and go to courts, 300 and something courts, all through your life or ever even cheated your own family and all this different stuff. Go sit on the bench and tell the truth, and people will believe you.
No,
Those
they won't.
followers that think people hate. No, we like the law. Some people don't want to live above the law and want to break the law like they used to. They could do things and nothing happened to them.
Trump told the
30
truth.
years later, you find out that they killed a bunch of people, but nothing happened to them.
Trump told the
So
truth,
take the
and
shame and go on and let them take the shame and do what they got to do.
Trump.
And people don't have to. And
Trump-
what's wrong with people having an opinion?
You're telling Trump.
Everybody got
Wait. I'm not comprehending what you're saying. Did you say Trump should take the shame?
If he did something wrong, Clinton did.
Clinton
Did
did
he take
something
the same
wrong.
with
Trump.
Monica? He denied it at first, and then when it was the truth, he came out and that's why you don't have a law license.
Butch over on the Facebook crew. Shout out to the Facebook crew.
Those
Says,
bright people over there. I
hold
just don't
on,
know what-
Maze. Let me finish
Okay.
what he said. But Stephanie Clifford, that's That's the real name of that dirty video female, dirty video woman, Stormy Daniels, already testified that she had no physical relationship with Donald Trump, so it would not have swayed any votes either way. His support from his base was already baked into the results, says Butch Conger. Yeah, the
That's your word. That's your word, and listening to what was said.
No,
Get him on the oath and let him tell
that's
people
not my word.
Not
That's
everybody get all stirred up and crazy and wrapped up and saying who hates who, and they're doing them wrong.
Butch
If
says.
you committed a crime,
Butch,
prove
hold
yourself wrong.
on. You just missed something, and I don't think that
No, I
you
didn't.
did it accurately. You said that's what you say. This is according to Butch saying what
This is what I
she
think.
allegedly said. Is that true that she's testified that she had no physical relationship with Trump?
I don't know, because I haven't heard what she did.
Yeah, so why are you speculating about
You
something that doesn't even
It
matter?
didn't have nothing to do with Stormy Daniels. All of the stuff that he's denying, but why every time something happens, you got to run to the court to save you, to stop it. It's just like Mike Pence. Don't want him to go sit on the oath. If you're sitting on the oath, you're going to tell the truth or you're going to tell a lie and go to jail for lying, just like his lawyer did for 10
A lot
years.
of people tell
That's
lies
what I
and they don't go to jail.
And any normal people or persons that could think will have to do that and stop running around here trying to harm people and causing messes and hollering names. And,
Wait,
and people have their opinion.
wait. Slow down.
What?
You said you made something about stop trying to harm people. Who's trying to harm people?
Yes,
Who needs
like
to stop?
They
Who-
threatened the DA. He's not the one
Who threatened the DA? Who threatened the
Those 12
DA?
people that did it.
No, who threatened the
He
DA?
said he got all kinds of
Who
threats.
threatened the DA?
People, dumb people. They don't have no sense.
Then what does that have to do with anybody? Dumb people
It has
do
a whole
dumb
lot to
things
do
all
with
the
it.
time. What does that?
His
Why
life is in
why
that.
even bring it up? People are threatening
All these
people all the
Christian
time.
people sitting up in those churches like Lightwood and all people like that, sitting up in the
The
churches on
DA,
Sunday.
if the DA weren't, hold on, Mace.
Heathens?
Hold on, Mace. If the DA didn't do the evil that he did, could the grand jury have done the evil that they did?
What evil did he do?
Answer my question first. Because you know what
What was
I
the
mean.
question?
You already know what I mean. If the DA wasn't doing what he was doing, the evil that he was doing, could the grand jury have done the evil that they did?
He was the evidence that he found, and he took it to the grand jury.
No.
Evidently, it was proven, so that's why they did.
Is that
and that's why they,
is that a no?
impeached him twice.
Is that a no? They could not have done their evil without that DA doing his evil.
No, if Trump would stood up and did what he needed to do when he had company.
Could the grand jury have done anything without that DA doing his thing?
What did these, what
Could
did the
they
DA
have done anything? Maze,
What
could
did they let us lie?
could they have done anything without the DA doing his evil?
No, they couldn't have. That's why I'm asking why y'all blaming him.
Because he's
No.
evil, and they're
He
evil
did his
too.
job. Oh, he's evil to you. But when Clinton lied, when Clinton lied about Monica, and the proof came out, what happened?
The DA is not evil to you?
That was evil because he lied.
No, I'm
But he
talking
came
about
out and told
the
truth.
DA. The DA, he's not evil?
No, I'm saying Clinton came out and told the truth. So why can't Trump do the same thing?
Because Trump is telling the truth.
Because how do you know he's telling the truth?
Because everybody knows that this is politically motivated. It's
It's not politically motivated because
not politically
how-
motivated. How do you know that it's not politically
How?
motivated?
That came from
Hold on,
from,
Mace. Hold on, Mace. Hold on, Mace. How do you
Hold
know
on,
it's not
I'm holding
politically
on.
motivated?
It's not.
That's not an answer. That's black.
It's not. What makes it political?
And I
motivated?
like
Because he ran
black.
for
I
president
love blacks.
and
I like to say that. I like to give that answer too. But that's not an answer. How do you
It
know
is
it's
an
not
answer.
politically motivated? It's not.
It's not.
How do you
political
know?
about it?
But how do you know?
Just the same way you do.
You're very.
And I have another
Are you
question.
bright?
Is Joe Biden's
Are
son-
you bright?
is Joe Biden's
Mace,
son laptop
Are
tied to Trump?
you bright?
No, I'm smart. I'm asking you, is Joe Biden's son's laptop tied to Trump?
Let me give context to the people. Mays uses the term bright for dim-witted. I don't know why. I don't know what sense it makes. I don't know if she is aware that bright means good, smart, brilliant.
Well, if you say so.
Yeah, that's what it means to normal people, but somehow to Mays, ordinarily you seem somewhat normal to believe it or
opinion.
not. But you say
My
bright.
opinion, and James don't agree with it. And I
Why are
don't
you?
care.
Why do you call it bright?
Because I can.
That doesn't make any sense. That's just
In my opinion, of when I see bright people, I look at smart people and I look at bright people.
that's the same thing.
It's the difference between the two.
What a mess.
So as I'm saying,
Anyway, go ahead.
and you're just walking around. I mean, because we can't have an opinion, but some of these
Who's
people come
we?
on here and want to talk.
You
but then
can't have
nobody
an.
else-
Who's
How
we?
does that
You and who else can't have an opinion?
It's supposed to be a free country.
No,
You know
you
what
and
I
who
mean?
else can't
You
have an
can't take
opinion? What are you
somebody
saying?
else to say. That's not my problem.
I'm pointing directly at the camera. I don't use these politician points. What are you saying?
As an American and by the laws in America, I think
Mays, answer my question. Who
And you
who
can take
can't
your
have an
bad
opinion?
Yes.
You say you can't have an opinion?
No, I didn't say that. I said I
You
have
said
an
we
opinion,
can't
you
have an
one.
opinion. That means you and who else?
And I'm glad you give me the opportunity to give my opinion, not like some of those that complain about people talking. Because I don't care who come on here and talk. That's not my business because that's your show, not mine. But I listen to what they have to say, and I have an opinion on some things that some people have to say. And everybody else that's not bright should.
Now, why did
have the same thought?
you
but
said
they don't.
you said we
Something's wrong with them.
Mays. You said we can't have an opinion. Who's we? And what are you
I
talking about?
say everybody that call in here has an opinion, and they should be allowed to have their own opinion without other people complaining about it or saying what they
But
shouldn't
why
be
did you
doing.
say we can't
They be
have an
calling
opinion?
in here of what kind of people they are and this and that.
Why did you say we can't have an opinion?
Huh?
Why did you say we can't have an opinion?
I didn't say that. I'm saying on to your show.
Oh.
We call in. Some of the callers that call in, everybody that call in here
Oh,
has
they
an
act.
opinion.
They
and
act.
should
You
have-
mean some of the callers act like you're not allowed to have a differing
They don't want.
opinion?
They don't want people to call that have an opinion.
Oh,
they don't
yeah.
want people
Okay.
to think like them.
I got you. Okay, I have some
Everybody
super
don't
chats
the same,
from.
They don't look the same, and they don't act the same.
I have some super chats from
Just because
Asmodor.
people disagree
Hold
with
on,
you-
Mays, it's my turn. I have some super chats from Asmodor regarding your phone call. Grand juries are mere rubber stamps for prosecutors. So the grand juries just pass whatever the prosecutor wants to do. Grand
Really?
juries are mere rubber stamps for prosecutors.
But that has nothing to do with somebody coming out and proving them that grand jury wrong and the DA wrong if they were about doing right.
The grand jury is not about
All
doing
you
right.
got to do is sit on the oath and tell the truth. But you
No,
you saying
hold on. Okay,
on the court,
speaking
don't
of
answer
telling the
questions.
truth. Hold on, mate. Speaking of telling the truth, I have another from Asmodor. Clinton,
I
as
have
in,
something for Asmodor. If he
okay,
put in
hold
1,000
your
people
thought.
that-
Hold your thought for Asmodor, because he gave the
What?
super chats. I have to ask you first, and then I'll let you ask
Asmodor
him.
is bright.
Okay, but yes, he is. Clinton never, quote unquote, admitted the truth until it came out that Monica Lewinsky kept a dress with his DNA on it. He
Thank
never,
you. She kept the dress with the DNA and the truth
So
came
you
out
never-
and she lied. What happened?
yeah, so he never admitted the truth.
That's what I'm saying. The same thing going to happen here. So y'all.
Oh,
all
you
up
think
in
that there's
arms
going to
about
be
nothing.
proof of Trump
There's
when
gonna be
Trump
some
didn't
proof.
even do anything while in office?
You don't know.
Okay,
You don't know
Mays,
what he did. You went in there with him.
nor do I care. It's
That's why I say
irrelevant.
you don't care, but you want to complain about it.
I'm not complaining about it.
Yes, you are.
No,
Saying people hate him, people do this, people
That's a fact.
want to see him stop going to the court.
I'm pointing out the truth. I'm not
But when you
complaining
look
about it.
guilty,
I don't
people
think
gonna
I'm.
think you guilty and
Hold
see
on,
you
Mays.
come
Hold
out.
on, Mays. Hold on, Mays. I don't think
What?
I'm complaining about it. Maybe I am, but
Yes.
people do hate him. That's a fact, and
But
that's
they
why
hate
they're
him,
going
that's
after
their
him.
business.
Okay, Mays, I have another from Asmodor, sharing a Revolver News article from this month, April
Revolver,
2023.
That's somebody else's opinion, too.
Ask Mays why Stormy Daniels, real name Stephanie Gregory Clifford, was ordered to pay $112,000 the same day that Trump went to court. Why did Stormy Daniels have to? Why was she ordered to pay
Evidently, whatever she had to pay
100
for, she did something wrong.
121?
Maybe she didn't pay her taxes
Hold
or
on, Mays.
something. I don't
Hold on,
know.
Mays. I
Did
didn't
it
finish.
come out?
Hold on, Mays. I didn't finish asking my question.
Well, okay.
Ordered to pay $121,000 plus in attorney fees.
It's just what I said. Maybe she didn't pay her taxes and she had to pay some money back.
Attorney fees, legal fees,
Yes,
not about
attorney fees,
taxes.
don't you have to go?
That's not taxes. So you don't know. You saying you don't know?
She lost the case, James.
And this is-
And then again, why did Trump's niece? Why did Trump's niece
hold
lose
on,
the
man.
case?
And
She sued him too.
and this is now she owes Trump over $600,000 according to Revolver News.
That's right. If she owe him money, that still don't make him innocent. If he slept with her, he slept with her. If he paid to keep it quiet, he paid to keep it quiet.
That
And all he gotta
neither
do
of
is come out
those
and tell the truth.
neither of those things are relevant to the conversation.
shame y'all see
Neither,
them peas,
hold on,
guys.
Mays.
And the Republicans-
Hold on,
Let me
Mays.
finish.
I'm putting
I'ma
you
tell
on
what's
hold
wrong.
if you don't be quiet.
Okay.
Neither of those things are relevant. Why are you even repeating that mess?
They are relevant.
No, they're not.
It's my opinion. Just like
Neither
you
of
give
those
yours
things
and I
are.
give mine, what I think.
Hold on, Mays. Although it should be against the law to commit adultery, neither of
So
those things are against the
Do
law.
you think he committed adultery?
I don't think so. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
He says he doesn't. He says he didn't. Why do you care?
Do I care?
Yeah, from 2005 or whenever this thing supposedly was.
From 2005.
Yeah.
You have men going did a whole lot of things there was a cruise and it didn't happen.
Do you
Went to
care?
court and
Do
they
you care?
went on about the business and you had some that didn't do it and they still in the prison.
Mace, do you care?
That's what I said, James.
You said no, you don't care?
Bill Cosby said he was innocent.
No. I didn't ask you about Bill
Never said he
Cosby.
was innocent.
Did you say you care? Do you care?
Yes, I care.
You care? You care
I
about
give my opinion.
somebody else's business?
You giving my
Typical
opinion. You
woman,
evidently you talking
meddling mama Maze.
You are talking about it.
I'm talking about it only because you brought it up.
No, I'm giving my opinion of what I think.
No, but you're giving your opinion about
you can't
something
say to me.
irrelevant to the case. The case is
It's
about money.
irrelevant when it's something that
The
you
case
don't
isn't
like.
about some sleazy
It's all
gossip.
it's all about a dumb Republican and dumb Democrats. It's all about you all.
Let me tell you
and face the
since you don't
embarrassment.
know Maze, since you don't know the
And face the
answer,
embarrassment. You put something in the queue and
Maze. I'm putting Maze on hold. Some quiet. Since Maze doesn't know the answer, why Stormy Daniels was ordered to pay $121,000 plus the same day Trump went to court. In addition to the $500,000 she already owes him, she was ordered to pay Trump's attorney fees because she lost her case. Did you ever think of that, Maze?
I'm thinking about where did Stormy Daniels come from and how did she even get in the situation? I mean, even in the equation.
Because she runs her mouth in the
she accused them of doing something.
because liberals are dirty and they love dirtiness. They love dirty. They love dirty film women.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Dirty,
and then you
dirty,
got Lindsey
dirty
Graham
video
right here
women.
like he's about to tell what he been doing. That's what all I'm sticking with.
They
him
don't
because he got
actually
something going
love.
on.
They
That's
don't.
like when he,
They don't actually love dirty video women. They love gossip and trash. I put Maze on hold. I liked her better when she was. No, I'm just kidding. Evil is still real says Maze is like a McRib sandwich that got left out in the sun for a week. He also asked, "Are you going to read your coffee chats this time?" I will. Hang on, man. I did read them.
it's supposed to be cute with bright people writing stuff like that. I know they got a problem. I can tell the bright from the smart. That's all I got to say about that person that wrote that. I don't eat ribs because I don't eat pork.
How about McRib sandwiches?
Good, but you liking ribs.
That's I don't know what that is. It's
That's
a
not what I'm
McDonald's thing.
discussing. I'm discussing that where people can't use their brain that was given to them to use, and they're over here fighting over a man that ain't even proving nothing for them, to them. And you just want to just take the embarrassment and go on and let it, and always talking about this an election year. That's an excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's relevant because it's election meddling.
But I'm wondering what Hunter Biden got to do with what Trump did.
It's politicized election meddling in using the courts to do it.
You think Hunter Biden laptop? You think Hunter Biden laptop got something to do with an election?
You think that I ever talked about Hunter Biden's laptop? Did you ever hear me mention it?
Yeah, I think I have.
No, you haven't because I don't know or care about Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh, I want Hunter Biden to come in the court, but he's not fighting the courts to keep it from coming out. You got all these smart, bright people, think they're smart, but they're bright people, talking about a Hunter Biden laptop when you're having a conversation about something.
Why are you bringing that up if I never bring that up?
Because I heard Trump say it last night, Hunter Biden laptop. What does that got to do with you?
Because it's all politically motivated. It's a double Maze. It's a double standard. You know that. You're being bright right now.
Hunter Biden is a normal citizen. He's not running for nothing.
I gotta go.
Okay, you have a good one. But like I said, the bright people, they need to. I just don't know what to say about them. And everybody got an opinion. Everybody should have the opportunity to give their opinion.
No, they shouldn't.
Those that don't think people should.
No, you shouldn't have an opinion.
Slavery was over a long time ago, and ain't nobody trying to be there. But I want the CWPs to know it's an embarrassment to you all because
they are trying to be slaves. They want to be slaves.
Somebody that y'all love to
They love being slaves.
What?
People love being slaves. They're eager to go back into slavery.
Because of your show.
Whatever. All right. Thanks, Mace. Bye.
And Master Sick, they sick. Have a good one.
You too. Before I get back to calls, there's a few super chats here. Evil Israel bought a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. Could we please place special emphasis on the second part of 1 Timothy 2, verse 12, even though he disavows Paul, who wrote 1 Timothy 2 to Timothy. I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. She must be silent. And then he emphasizes the second part. She must be silent! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. That does not mean call into shows and drone on like a spare, useless rib. Oh, I get it. Bother your husband, not everyone else, says evil is still real. But the Bible also does not say to bother your husband. It says to respect your husband. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? And I think that might have been Paul who wrote that too. Isn't it nice to hear the quiet? Listen. Well, thank you guys for the super chats. I agree. Evil is still real, or evil is real. That's buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. And there's also Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/The Hake Report. Let me get to Artie Art from Ohio. Baby. Art, thanks for calling. What's up?
What's up with Hake, baby?
Not much, man.
And shout out to my favorite caller, the Tortilla and Doritos girl that just got off the phone or whatnot. First thing.
What makes you call? You talking about Maze? What makes you call her tortilla? You think that she got tortillas and burritos as a kid?
Oh yeah, definitely. She could probably sit around and eat cereal all day or whatnot. And she sounded like a boomer. So I don't know if they had Doritos back. Cheese Doritos or whatnot, nacho cheese Doritos back in the day, but they are pretty tasty. They are pretty tasty, but
my mouth is watering.
My grandmother.
Go ahead.
Yeah, rest in peace, my grandmother. She made sure Artie Art from Ohio always had a nice little meal that she cooked for my sister and her husband. Long story short, she said that we have a problem with her opinion. No, we don't got no problem with your opinion, sweetie, honey. We just have a problem that when you say your opinion or what you think or facts, they're not facts. And when Artie Art goes to knock your building of opinions down with a bulldozer, Artie Art come with the facts and the logic. You liberals don't like it. You can say whatever you want to, but when I come to tell you left is left and right is right and 2 + 2 is 4, we don't want you to sit there and argue, well, I don't think that it is. Well, okay, well, that's the fact. That's the first thing. Second thing is, it is a political persecution or whatnot, because every year is doing something to where they have been trying to come at Donald Trump or whatnot, year after year. Every year over the last 5 years, they've been pulling some little tricks out the little magic hat to try to throw some poo at the wall and make it stick.
Yeah.
Putting boogers on the wall, trying to make them stick or whatnot.
True.
And that's the problem that I'm having with it is that the statute of limitations already done passed. And I don't really care what Stormy Lee Daniels said. Just like you said, she already done said what happened to where she had to pay Donald Trump money back. Why she had to pay Donald Trump money back?
Because she lost her case against him. She was she was a mess.
Okay, so,
and her lawyer is a corrupt guy, Avenatti, and he's so corrupt that she even turned on him. What a mess.
Okay, and what was
those two were together being honored by one of the most corrupt cities in California, West Hollywood, gay capital of L.A. County, I called it. Probably gay capital of Southern California.
And wasn't that lawyer that was representing Donald Trump, the one in New York, wasn't he found out to be a liar, if I wasn't mistaken?
Yeah, the rat. He turned on Trump and became this nasty liar person, and maybe he was a liar the whole time.
Okay, and what about attorney-client privilege? And so that's legally not possible for it. Okay, statute of limitations and lawyer-client privilege or whatnot. So they're breaking the law or whatnot, and people like these libertarians like Mays don't understand that if they able to come back and do this to him, which makes me think that they can't do that on the average citizen or somebody that already don't had a case that's already been dismissed or found that they were not guilty, for them to come back and do double jeopardy or whatnot.
Yeah, and you know what? They've done unjust things to Americans a lot. So Trump is doing a service really by being indicted and arraigned and all that stuff, because he's showing he's like a big public example of what goes on every day against whites, Christians, men, cops when they actually are doing their jobs, but it's against a black or whatever. And so this is happening all the time, really. And so hopefully it's going to awaken people who don't, at least to the truth that the justice system, so-called justice system, is corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I might be a little bit far-fetched with this, but I don't been charged with my little drug charges or whatnot. Being convicted, did my little time. So what stops them from trumping up some charges against me on some stuff that I was already convicted on?
Right.
You know, so that's where my problem is coming in or whatnot. And then, they come back and say, oh, well, they can't do that. Well, what I'm saying is y'all bending and breaking the rules just to fit a narrative for one person that y'all don't like, and they exposing themselves.
Yeah.
And then shout out to the Tortilla and the Dorito boys, because once again, they was talking all this stuff about Trump is racist, this, and, if we keep get Trump in office, he got his finger over the red button or whatnot, he's going to get us in the war. And lo and behold, you get this weirdo in office or whatnot, Sleepy Boy, Sleepy Corn Pop or whatnot, and we at war. And then his wife get on there the other day trying to pander to the white liberals or whatnot, the true evil people. Allegedly, if you want to call anybody racist, it would be Jill Biden and Joe Biden. She get on there talking about, she want to invite the Iowa basketball team to the thing when Iowa didn't even win. And shout out to that. Shout out to that Iowa white female basketball player for turning it down and whatnot, for being an honorable young lady. And people going to taunt, and that's part of the game. So I'm not mad at the white girl or the black girl or whatnot. I just hope they know how to cook and they know how to get married and treat a man or whatnot. But shout out to her for standing up for what she know is right or whatnot. Just like she said, she didn't win. She wants the person who won to go to the White House, but I don't think nobody should be wanting to go to the White House, be around them weirdos.
I agree. I was happy that the Golden State Warriors, as some reporters called them, at least one, didn't want to go see Trump. Like, get out! You guys don't belong in the White House. Yeah. Remember that? Oh man, your phone's messing up again, man. Or it's maybe on our end. We'll try in a second right now. He's on hold for a second here. Okay, try again, Art. Oh no, it's not. It's no good, man. It's terrible. It sounds like you're bubbling under the beautiful briny sea, bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. I think that's a... Oh, no, it's terrible, man. Well, man, we'll have to catch you later, man.
Yep.
All right. Oh, I think it's better now. Is it better? Oh, no, it clicked. I don't like that when it clicks. Happy birthday, James Higgs, says N Strand. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let me show you this attack on Trump by the independent-mindeds, I will call them. The independent-mindeds. Not necessarily conservatives. Some conservatives. A lot of you guys are not fans of Trump. No longer fans. Some of you may have been at one point. Kim.com tweeted out a screenshot or a picture of, I guess it's a screenshot of a New York Slimes, the failing New York Slimes. Hat tip to Mark Levin and Donald J. Trump. I combined those two monikers of the New York Times. The failing New York Times, as Trump called it. The New York Slimes, as Mark Levin called it. Jewish conservative guy. Trump charged with 34 felonies. See? They use this shameless black guy and the shameless, what do you call it? grand jury from the should be a sundown town. It would be a lot better off as a sundown town of New York City, to indict Trump on 34 felonies. Oh, and it's inconsequential. I think, right? I don't think that it's even consequential. I mean, it kind of is. It affects people's impressions, and Trump charged with 34 felonies, and it should be like basically a badge of honor in this trashy, corrupt place where the real corrupt people get away with everything. Kim.com wrote. Kim.com is a famous hacker guy, I think, as I recall, and it's a male. I assume. Even though he's talking kind of like a female here. The United States of America has officially achieved the status of Banana Republic. Banana Republic is where, oh yeah, it's a republic, but it's Banana Republic. And I think that has to do with, we tried to spread democracy in republics, democratic republics, or Republican, whatever, to these places that they're corrupt. They can't handle that stuff. They're a corrupt people. Bunch of corrupt people. And so it's very corrupt. Welcome to the club of political targets, Donald. This guy's been a political target since 2016. Even by the so-called, anyway. You should remember Julian Assange today, says Kim.com. Julian of WikiLeaks, right? Helped you by releasing the truth about your corrupt accusers, and you failed to pardon him. Fool! Except he didn't put exclamation mark, even though I put an exclamation, even though I exclaimed it. Do you blame Trump for not pardon? Should Trump have pardoned Julian Assange instead of Kodak Black, or could he have pardoned them both? Kodak Black. Is he the one who's with holding hands behind Rihanna? No, that's somebody else. I don't know. I confuse their names.
A$AP Rocky is Rihanna's.
Oh, okay. 34 felonies? Wow, he must be a bad guy, says Kevin Howe. Yeah, I know. Banana Republic sounds African. It doesn't sound African to me. It sounds like the islands, but I don't know my history. Probably people our resident historians could tell me. But Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, the foreigner guy, I don't know. This is not something that Trump is that into. He's more into like Black Americans and Joe Arpaio. He pardoned Joe Arpaio, and good for him for doing that. He may have pardoned Dinesh D'Souza. I'm not sure. I forget. Because he was another politically attacked person. Julian Assange, I don't know WikiLeaks stuff, right? I don't know. And that other guy, Edward Snowden, I don't know or care much. I'm like, oh yeah, the NSA spies on us. Like we didn't assume that already. Okay, now we have the facts. That's fine. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. What good did it really do? We just know a bunch of stuff that's going on. They're doing it anyway, you know? Did it change anything? Maybe you should have pardoned Julian Assange. I'm not against pardoning Julian Assange. But it's just not something that this boomer's that into. Like, how is he? And especially since he's going to listen to these advisors, which he shouldn't. He shouldn't have passed. You know, the things that I don't like Trump for or appreciate that Trump did was like the First Step Act. I read all about that horrific stuff going on, and he let them out of prisons, these criminals out of prisons, and they committed more crimes and murders and horrific things. New York Times says, spoiler alert, Dinesh D'Souza, best-selling author and documentarian who received a presidential pardon for a felony conviction of making illegal campaign contributions. Felony! These campaign finance laws, nobody understands them or cares. These tax laws, nobody understands them or cares, but you should follow the law, guys. You should follow the law as far as you can. But they come up with all these complicated laws, and then they can charge you with anything. And as Big Bump points out, as the saying goes, a grand jury would indict a ham sandwich. It's a famous quote that somebody would say. True. Speaking of corrupt so-called justice, let me move on from, because I don't know anything about Julian Assange. And I don't dispute that he should have pardoned him. I just defend him in that he's a boomer. He's like a normie. An independent-minded normie, but he's just a boomer. Cut him a little slack, Jack. But listen to this. Wisconsin justice election. This conservative judge was not elected to be the justice on this Wisconsin Supreme Court. I think of Wisconsin. I think of, what? Is Brett Favre from up there somewhere? He's a white, maybe a Christian, I don't know. Football player, old guy. Kind of old. Is he old? The Green Bay Packers, as football teams go, they're not corrupt like the Cowboys or the Raiders or something dirty like that. Or the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers with that sleazy guy. Well, he's no longer with them. Talking about the Black Lives Matter kneeler / sitting like a bump on a log, disrespecting the whole country over his fake idea of racism. But this Wisconsin is turning, it's a swing state, right? Here's what Dan Kelly said, a so-called conservative judge. He lost, I told you in Hake News, to a radical pro-abortion woman with a weird last name she's probably not a Christian, probably not morally straight, certainly not morally straight. She supports abortion. That's not moral. It's not straight. Morally straight. I got that from what the Boy Scouts claim were supposed to stay. They were supposed to stay morally straight. Conservative judge's concession speech raises eyebrows. A lot of people said sour grapes. And that's a headline from the far left Newsweek. Just ridiculous outlet. This didn't turn out the way we were looking for, said Dan Kelly. He was the one running for office. He was a judge who was appointed to the Supreme Court after a vacancy over there in the state of Wisconsin. And then he ran in like 2016 or 2020. Trump endorsed him, but he failed. He couldn't win. This didn't turn out the way we were looking for. I wish that in a circumstance like this, I would be able to concede to a worthy opponent, but I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede. My opponent is a serial liar. She's disregarded, it's a woman, she's disregarded judicial ethics. She's demeaned the judiciary with her behavior. And this is the future we have to look forward to in Wisconsin. He went on to say that Wisconsin voters had chosen the rule of Janet, that's her first name, and her last name, I pronounced it correctly in Hake News. You can go back and listen to the Jesse Lee Peterson show. But the rule of Janet over the rule of law. But he respected their decision irregardless, which is not a word. So there's some backlash, tweets from liberal media people. Charlie Sykes. You ever heard that name before? I've heard that name, I think. Editor-in-chief of The Bulwark tweeted sarcastically, Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate Dan Kelly keeping it classy. You a simp. Don't say simp, kids. Classless till the end, tweeted liberal activist Scott Ross, Scott with one T. Republicans are sore losers over hashtag Wisconsin voters rejecting their bigotry and insanity, said Bob Brigham, Montana Blue Check Rando on Twitter. He has double the number of followers as he's following, but he's just like a Twitter guy, I guess. Dan Kelly is trash who has no business practicing law in any jurisdiction on earth. Dumb. Dan Kelly is horrible. Sour grapes, tweeted Miller0969. What a jerk. He can't even concede graciously to Janet for justice. That's her Twitter handle. Go home. Ridiculous. Wisconsin loser Dan Kelly is spewing instead of conceding, tweeted historian Harvey K. K-A-Y-E. Hope you like vinegar because Dan Kelly's got sour grapes, tweeted Bobby Bigwheel. Bunch of dumb quotes, huh? Despite Kelly having previously served on Wisconsin Supreme Court, the former justice never won an election for a seat. appointed in 2016, okay, to fill the unexpired term of Justice David Prosser Jr. prior to Tuesday. He also lost an election in 2020 when he was endorsed by our greatest president. Don Jr. yesterday urged Wisconsin MAGA patriots to vote for this Dan Kelly guy. Hours before the polls closed, but the radical left won it. And I mean radical. This woman campaigned on baby killing. We can't afford to lose the Wisconsin Supreme Court to the radical left. And you know, they also are going to be affecting voting mess. High stakes election went down in Wisconsin per the Skim, I guess yesterday, Tuesday. Liberal Milwaukee County Judge Janet Protasewicz, Protasewicz. Probably not a Christian. Certainly not a Christian. Certainly not Christian values. Almost $30 million was spent in this campaign. So they're going to argue about the legality of an 1849 near total abortion ban in the next year or two. 1849 abortion ban, but then the evil Supreme Court in the 1970s did the Roe v. Wade thing and nullified it, and now it's coming back into effect, right? 1849 near total abortion ban. In 1849, they banned abortion. Wow, in the state of Wisconsin. How far you've fallen, Wisconsin? I'm shaking my head. That's up near Canada. Oh, maybe I answered my question. How did Wisconsin get so corrupt? Because of Canada. Nah. I mean, probably that too, maybe. I know some Wisconsin people who talk like Canadians. Protasewicz, Vix, has openly supported abortion access. Women have the right to choose. It's endorsed by Emily's List for killing the babies. It's a radical abortion group, Democrat. Planned Parenthood, which did that Women's March trash that James Comey's wife and daughters marched in the day after that Trump was had his first what is that thing called when he took office? Inauguration. The day after the inauguration, these women did their dumb women's march for baby killing and wore the pink hats for women's body parts because, keep your laws off of my body parts out of which the man's baby emerges, you know? Sorry, kids, I guess. The court could also decide on cases regarding voter ID laws, redistricting, so gun rights, the right to carry guns. Could have a say in the 2024 presidential election, these so-called justices. What a mess. Well, who cares, really? Who cares? But it's just interesting. I didn't know that, I didn't realize that Wisconsin was so corrupt. Wisconsin has no contact with Canada, says Emperor of Cats. Quick side note. A lot of people in the chat, or I've seen it multiple times. Nikon. Nikon. Hake with the good hair. Explain your shirt. I'm wearing my t-shirt, Knowledge is Poison. It is available on thehakereport.com. Well, it's not on thehakereport.com, but you go there and you can find the Teespring link. It's Spring. It's creator-spring. Dumb. Why didn't you just keep Teespring? Teespring.com/stores/thehakereport. The link is available in the menu on thehakereport.com. But knowledge is poison. It is. Think about how much you get into knowledge or down the rabbit hole, and your life goes down the tubes with it. Even though maybe you're not aware of it because you're getting all puffed up on the knowledge. As the Bible says, I mentioned before, knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. That was what Paul was saying, I guess, about there was a controversy during Bible times about eating meat sacrificed to idols, and people who knew were like, This is just meat. It's just meat. God made meat. Meat is not bad. Meat is not murder. But it was sacrificed to idols. But an idol is nothing. So you're just eating the meat. You're not worshiping the idol. Maybe it's sort of akin to doing yoga when, oh, you're doing this pose. This pose is worshiping the sun or something, or dogs or something like that. I don't know. But in reality, this is just stretching. It's exercise and stretching. I don't do the yoga thing, but other people do. And Christians shouldn't be doing this. And people who know, they're like, no, it's not. It's fine. But people might puff up and divide and tempt one another, and some people may do something and mess up against their own conscience, which may be a mistaken conscience, but they're breaking their own conscience. So, or it's not necessarily a sin to drink one beer. I like beer, said Justice Kavanaugh before he became a justice. I like beer. Maybe it's not a sin to have one beer. It's not that good for you, but it's okay. Maybe one. Not getting drunk, but you do it in front of somebody, you're tempting them on there, and it may not be wise. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial, is what Paul said. So anyway, knowing something is knowing something, and you're puffing up over it and flaunting your freedom and knowledge is not love. So that's my explanation of the shirt. Facts are not truth. People cherry pick facts. You get knowledge, you think you have wisdom, you think you know the truth. It's not the truth. Because you have to have love with it. Anyway, that's my explanation. Let me just double check on other super chats over here. Over on Rumble, we got them through. Over on DLive, got them through. Oh, over on Odyssey, odyssee.com/@thehake-report, our resident historian, Asmodor, explains O. Henry coined the term banana republic to describe Honduras. See, I was closer to the right. Honduras is not exactly an island in the Gulf, but I don't think. And Costa Rica, which might be an island, I think. Under economic exploitation by the United States. Oh. It describes a corrupt third world government dependent on export of natural resources. Ah, interesting. Who knew? Asmodor knew, our resident historian. Who also says Trump should have pardoned Assange. Assange was instrumental in getting him elected. Posting the Clinton and Podesta emails. Remember spirit cooking? This was a bad decision of his not to do so, and was political, but that doesn't mean Trump deserves these charges. Yeah. True. Double check over on buymeacoffee.com and Ko-Fi, Ko-Fi. We're all clear. I didn't finish this from Hake News. Oh, but we're over time. Oh, well, let me just end. Thanks, guys. This has been the Hake Report. I didn't even realize it. Adios, America. Enjoy from Trump. Stop it. Courtesy of Placeboying. Bye.
Stop it. Stop it. And I say, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And I'll say it right to the camera. Stop it. Stop it. Stop, stop, stop. And I say, stop. And I say, stop it. Stop, 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 stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I will say this, and I'll say it right to the camera. Stop it. Right to the camera. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop, stop, stop it. Stop, stop, stop it. Stop it. Right to the camera. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop, stop, stop it. Stop, stop, stop it.